How ready are you for a potential natural disaster or an emergency? Are you Denver ready? The Denver Office of Emergency Management is here to help get all of Denver residents Denver ready. We have Chelsea and Courtney, and they're going to help us navigate really what all of this means. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
All right, let's talk about, first of all, what the Denver Office of Emergency Management actually is. Chelsea, you want to kind of describe that?
Yeah, absolutely. It is our job to help grow resilient communities, and we're trying to build our preparedness partnerships so that our Denver residents feel prepared and ready for a natural disaster.
You did that so well. That's perfect. Yeah, she said that a couple times before. Now we have the hazard mitigation plan, and Courtney, you know all about this. So explain what the hazard mitigation plan is.
Sure. So we update this plan every 5 years, and it's a very collaborative process. We are getting information from experts, from our city stakeholders, and actually members of the public as well. And the goal is to give an overview of the 21 top hazards that could impact Denver. And then along with that, we start to look at what types of impacts it could cause, look at that against our community, all of the great information about Denver, and then we start to figure out, okay, now we need to come up with planning strategies to buy down the risk, lessen the vulnerability that those hazards can cause to our community.
You actually have an interactive, I was going to say integrative, that's not the word I wanted, interactive map online.
Yes.
What is that and how does that work?
Yeah, so it's actually up on Denver 7, and it's also on our website at denvergov.org/OEM. And the goal of this interactive tool is to pair alongside the full hazard mitigation plan, but create something for members of the public that's a bit more digestible, a little bit more interactive. And so folks can actually go into the tool, type in their address for their home, their school, their business, and start to learn and understand how the hazards that we've identified for Denver can actually impact them and their home and their family and their surrounding area.
So now that we know what it is, why is really a big question, right? Why people need to use this or would want to use this in case of emergency.
Yeah, as Chelsea mentioned, our office is striving to make our community more resilient. And so we're always asking folks to create an emergency plan or create an emergency kit. But sometimes people ask, well, why? Why do I need to do that? And this tool really allows people to take a look at what actual hazards are going to impact the city. And it gives that scenario and that context and that added detail to really kind of set the stage for, oh, that's why I'm writing this plan, or that's why I'm building this kit. And it really strengthens the quality of the preparedness plans that we create.
Because this is something you guys do. I mean, you are constantly preparing people to be ready in case there's some sort of emergency, catastrophe. I mean, I hate to use these big superlatives, but these big words, but you need to have a plan in place. That seems to be the main goal for everybody.
Absolutely. It's incredibly important that we make sure people are really thinking about what specific, elements of their home or their commute to school or to their businesses is going to be impacted when an emergency happens. And so any information that we can get out to everybody, and it's not always the most exciting, but I think when people can start actually interacting with a tool and typing in areas that are important to them, it really allows that extra context and that oh, okay, I get how it could really, impact me.
Again, the question why comes up. I would think it would help to be so less taxing on some of our public service agencies and stuff like that too. But why is another question we have to answer, correct?
Absolutely. And that's really it. We have an entire city that we want to make sure stays safe after an emergency, and knowing that the community is starting to prepare for themselves and that they're going to be more resilient and ready, so that if we're responding and it takes us a few hours or a day to get to them, that they have thought about what they're going to do and how they're going to keep their family or their friends and neighborhood safe.
Well, we have seen that on the national level on television when things happen and natural disasters happen, how important and imperative these plans to have in place are. All right, before we go, how can people learn more, Chelsea?
Absolutely. So like Courtney mentioned, going to denvergov.org/OEM is going to have all kinds of resources. We have all kinds of things on there about how to prepare your pet, your home, your neighborhoods, your business, and things of that nature. So tons of resources on there.
Ladies, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Learn more about potential hazards in your area that could really impact you. Visit denvergov.org/OEM to learn more. They paid for today's segment, and we'll be right back.